Hey everybody, how's it going? I want to talk about enablers, and don't get me wrong, I have been one. So, anyways, I was born and bred to care for other people, and it's just the way it was. So, I was my sister's keeper and then joined the military, and I always have put other people first, and then had my own children, and now this and that. And then first husband wasn't kind, and I was an enabler in that relationship, and then I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, so this and that. So I got married the second time, and my second husband was really nice, but shortly after we met and fell in love, he informed me that he suffered from agoraphobia and panic attacks. Couldn't drive too far from the area we lived, and so I took it upon myself to be his personal savior. I would go to the doctor with him, and I'd help him get his meds, and we'd drive, and then he would stop, and I'd say we can't be together, and then he would drive and take his meds and go to the doctor, and then he would stop, and then we'd break up, and then he promised to get better. So it went back and forth. My daughters were just teenagers at that time, and I know that was hell for them because it was rough. So, anyways, there came a point in time when I realized I wasn't Jesus. I was not put on this earth to heal or save anyone. I helped. I enabled my dad through his alcoholism until I went to Al-Anon, and then, of course, my second husband, and so on and so forth. And I finally said, I can't do this anymore. And then I went to therapy, and I was single for a while, about 10 years, and then I met my current husband, and he can take care of himself. He doesn't need me to hold my hand out. If he falls, he gets up, and that's just the way it is. And so I met someone who is independent, self-sufficient, and that's it. And so, anyways, I realized there's a lot of folks who enable others who are sick because it allows them the opportunity to feel needed or wanted or important. A lot of enablers, similar to the way I was, we don't want to see people suffer. So what we'll do is we will do whatever it takes to alleviate that person's suffering. And if you look at the show Intervention, you'll see the enabler is the person that gives the addict money so they don't have to go through the detox. And they don't want to see the shakes, and they don't want to see the crying, and they don't want their son or daughter or loved one to go and sell their body so they can get the next hit. I mean, there's always someone that allows that person to continue in their behaviors. And so I know I've been there, and I don't want to go there anymore, but I'll tell you, when it comes to our own children, it is so hard to say no to them. We don't want them to cry, and we don't want them to beg, and we don't want them to plead, and we don't want them to not have an abundant life. So what do? We still do for them in some sort of way. We have a hard time saying no. And mostly I think it's because we don't want them to tell us they hate us and walk away from us and disconnect, and we're worried because if we have no contact, we're not going to know if they're alive or what kind of situations they're in. So that's something to think about. How do you break free? I have no idea. You have to be unafraid of letting them fall and letting them suffer the consequences of their own actions. And that's really what it comes down to. So, anyways, that's what I wanted to share. I am just as guilty. And that's all there is to it. So that's all I've got. And I will be back.